Welcome everybody. Happy New Year. Namaste to all of you. Wishing you all the very best for 2021. So thanks for joining us. I'm going to put Amma on. I'm going to put Amma on FaceTime. We're missing her today. It's just Radha and myself, and Krishna is sitting there taking care of the live stream technology. I hope everybody can hear us because we had some static problems earlier. We may continue to do that. I don't know how the sound is sounding. So we'll start out with some mantras, and then I'll have Amma come in. Maybe I'll do that now. Okay, 1 minute. Let me see. I'll use of technology here. I'm going to FaceTime Amma. And see what happens. Krishna, that machine is not listening to me. Turn it off and on. Meanwhile, I'll FaceTime. I don't have it on, but it just continues from the signal. Okay, so I'm calling.
Do you have another speaker?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you're right. Sorry about that. So where is this going to? Alright. So I'm FaceTiming Amma so that she can say Happy New Year to everybody, okay, and offer her blessings to all, and so you can all see her. If Geeta picks up. There she is, okay. She's picking up.
Hello?
Yeah, it's paused. I can't see any picture.
Wait. Aditra?
No.
Aditra.
No, I can't see you. It's still paused. I don't know why. Krishna, maybe you can turn that off. I can't see anything yet. It's coming in as paused. Why don't you call my phone, Geeta? Okay. So she's going to join us in a minute. I thought it'd be nice to see Amma here, where she can see everybody, and let's try again. Oh, okay, there we are. Okay. So there's Amma. I hope everybody can see her. Amma, Purajanak Sangha. Purajanak Sangha. New Year's Mont Sangha.
Today is the happiest day. Happy New Year for everyone in their life. Everybody should be happy, and happy. And God bless you. All of you to be happy.
So maybe I'll move it closer to the mic, Krishna. So say it again.
Today is the day of happiness, New Year day today, and everybody should be happy and happy. Everybody has to be happy and healthy and happy year today. All of you to be happy and healthy, and God bless everything to you, whatever you like. God bless you.
Okay, thank you. Amma is at Geeta's house and really enjoying it there. She went there, I would say, about a week and a half ago, and she's having a good time with Geeta and her husband. They have a nice, beautiful new house that is a lakefront property, and they're really enjoying the sunsets and sunrises. Amma tells me about it every day. So as you can see, I'm sure that she misses this program, but I think Geeta is planning to do some Zoom calls with some devotees. So that's in the planning stages. So I'll hang up here and we'll get on with the program. Okay? Happy New Year to all. Davartama. Davarta. Thank you. Jai. Okay. So if you could please go down. We'll start out with the Shanti Mantras. go to the description and you'll see the words there and you can follow me along. Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gum Gurubhyo Namaha. Aim Saraswatye Swaha. Shrim Mahalakshmi Namaha. Dum Durgaye Namaha. Ram Ramaya Namaha. Klim Krishnaya Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha. Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Pandurangaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Pandurangaya. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Shri Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram, Jaya Rama. Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram, Jaya Rama. Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram, Jaya Rama. Jaya Jaya Rama. Shantihi. पंढरीनाथ महाराज की जय, श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, सद्गुरु महाराज की जय. So now if you could go down to the description, we will sing the Shanti Mantras. So, I always want to start out our New Year's with Shanti Mantras. I think last year, in maybe at the beginning of 2020 or 2019, something like that, we recorded this more formally. And I think it's important that we do those Shanti Mantras, so we pray for peace and well-being and happiness of all of God's creatures, including us. Everything okay, son? Om. I'll sing it once, each line, and you sing it after me, okay? Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyothirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritamgamaya, Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam, Purnaat-purna Mudachyate, Purnasya Purnam-aadaaya, Purnam Evaavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Sahanaa-vavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Saha Veeryam Karavaavahai, Tejasvina Vadhitamastu, Maa Vidvishaavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Om Sarveshaam Svastir Bhavatu, Sarveshaam Shaantir Bhavatu, Sarveshaam Purnam Bhavatu, Sarveshaam Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, Sarve santu niramaya, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः पंढरीनाथ महाराज की, श्री कृष्ण भगवान की, सद्गुरु महाराज की। So these are very beautiful mantras to be sung daily if at all possible, and we will also do closing mantras a bit later on. So I thought what we would do is, because it's New Year's, and by the way, we already had Datta Jayanti, Dattatreya's holy day, on the 29th of December, and I'm working on a song for Dattatreya that my father wrote, Brahma Vishnu Shiva Swarupa Sadguru Dattanatha Bhagavanta Namo. I believe that's the words, so I'm working on that. I sang it already, it's recorded on video, and it will be released over the next day or two. So look for that. But we celebrated that with prayers and so on. Now, because it's New Year's, yesterday was the first. We always like to start out our New Year or any new event with. Where's that from, sir? 1 minute. The technology is going crazy here, so let me see what I can do. There. Stopped. So here we want to start out with a hymn to Ganesha that my father composed. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. We sang it, I think, in the last stream, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll sing it again here, and it's in Rag Hamsadhvani. It's supposed to be the favorite of Ganesha. Again, I think this is in the description, so you can go check it out and open it so you can follow along. Alright, so I have it right here, and so we'll sing it. Okay. I need tabla for this. Ready? Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। गौरीनन्दन गजवदना गौरीनन्दन गजवदना शौरी पूजित गजानना सुरनर संयुत गजवदना हरिहर ब्रह्मनुत गजानना ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। लंबोदरा विघ्नेश्वरा लंबोदरा लंबोदरा विघ्नेश्वरा विघ्नेश्वरा अम्बुजलोचन गणेश्वरा शाम्भवी तनया सिद्धीश्वरा शाम्भवी तनया सिद्धीश्वरा शंभुसुता जय बुद्धीश्वरा शंभुसुता जय ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। मोदकहस्ता विनायका मोदकहस्ता विनायका विनायका मोदकहस्ता विनायका मोदकहस्ता साधु पूजित गणनायका साधु पूजित पाशाङ्कुशधर गणराजा पाशाङ्कुशधर गणराजा 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 पाशाङ्कुशधर गणराजा पाशाङ्कुशधर शेषभूषणसुत गणराजा शेषभूषणसुत भासुर तेजा गणराजा दास केशवनुत गणराजा नुत गणराजा ॐ गं गणपतये नमः ॐ गं गणपतये नमः ॐ गं गणपतये गणपतये नमः ॐ गं गणपतये नमः ॐ गं गणपतये नमः ॐ गं गणपतये नमः सिद्धिविनायक भगवान की जय। So now, Krishna, are there people on the line? Okay. So today I want to just do some readings. It's funny, I talked to Geeta yesterday, my sister, and she was talking about maybe doing some readings, but I had already posted that we're going to do readings today. Not all the time, but today I felt it was appropriate and important. So this book is called The Purpose of Life. You can see it. How will you know you have that angle? I mean on the computer. Okay. So this is called The Purpose of Life. So I'm going to read not much because this is packed right within the very first chapter. Just the very first line gets to the bottom line of the entire book. Now this book, interestingly, was kind of sort of inspired by Geeta, my sister, because it says here, right at the preface, I'll read it to you. My daughter Geeta presented me with a golden colored notebook and told me, "Father, fill these pages with your wisdom." I took it as a message from God coming through her and began writing a few pages. When I came to the Temple of Cosmic Religion in Southfield, Michigan, which, by the way, I lived there for some time, so did Geeta, which I founded, my good friend, Mr. Albert Berger, saw that I had written and was inspired to help me publish this book. The calm atmosphere and facilities of writing provided by our temple staff members inspired me to complete the book in approximately 1 month. In this book, as before, the major cooperation of typing, reading, and editing with the utmost patience was done by my beloved sister Karuna, our dear friend and sister. She lives in Pittsburgh, and she and Ravidas, we all lived together for some time in our temple over there in Southfield, Michigan. May God bless her to serve this way forever. So this was inspired. So he goes on to say later, right? I want to thank Sister Swarna. I'm assuming that's Swarna Bhatra, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Sister Gayatri Parabrahma, Ravi Das, and Chandrasekhar. Chandrasekhar is Michael Harris, for their untiring service in reading this manuscript and making it more beautiful by their suggestions. I must also thank my dear Hi Gordon for his timely help making the publication possible. So if you look here, this is Mr. and Mrs. Berger right there. You have it, son? Okay. So that's them. And this is Hi Gordon. And I think he is from Virginia Beach originally, so we used to see him a lot when we lived in Norfolk, Virginia, in a different temple. So anyway, so let me get to the point here. That is, I thought we'd start out by reading some things and maybe having a discussion about it. And I will get us started, but I want folks to tell me what they think and what your thoughts are. I know it's a little bit hard to type, and that's okay. It's how it is, okay? So I'll read this. I'm not a great reader, so you have to be patient with me. The purpose of life is God realization. This is right from chapter 1, the very first line. So it's pretty amazing. Right at the beginning, here's the bottom line. All the rest of the book goes into the various aspects of why it's God realization that is the purpose of life, and how to get there, what do we do in terms of practices, and so on. So the purpose of life is God realization, to go beyond the pairs of opposites and to firmly establish oneself in truth with the big T is the purpose of our existence. In pursuit of truth, we may fall many a time, but we should never stop until we reach the goal. Let us pray for strength and march on towards the truth. Truth is eternal. Truth is always the same. It was, is, and will be. Behind and beyond all changes, the truth remains unchanging. It is the source and substratum of the entire universe. It upholds the individual and the universe. Truth is God. We are in the evolutionary process. Despite several faults and failures, we will reach the truth. We have come from truth, we exist in truth, and we have to return to truth. Remember, truth and God are the same. So when I read truth here, I am always substituting it to God. The tremendous fact of death confronts one and all. All that is born is going to die. Our bodies are born, and they are going to die. Disease, pain, misery, and death are the facts of this earthly existence. But we should never forget that the truth of ourself, with the big S, is not going to die. It is never born and is indestructible. Knowing that bodies are changing and dying, let us not get attached to our bodies. Instead, let us firmly fix our mind in the truth of our true self, which is God. So, let me stop here, and I have a few thoughts on this point, a bunch of points. I mean, this is already packed. Anything I should know, Krishna?
No.
Okay. All right. So the purpose of life is God realization. Just that one line contains a lot. So if you, as I have, if you listen to a lot of people on their opinions on what is the purpose of life, you get a spectrum of thoughts. And I don't remember all of them, but I do remember 2 or 3 of them as to how some of the famous gurus, some of the famous thinkers, and some of the philosophers and so on, they try to answer this question. And then the other question that people ask is there a purpose to life? Or is just life is like this, right? Let's assume for a second for our discussion that there is a purpose to life, okay? And I'll tell you why I think there is a purpose to life, just as my father has very emphatically pointed out. So some people say that the purpose of life is simply to survive. Right? This is valid, and a lot of people say it. There is no higher purpose to life. The purpose of life is to simply live, survive as long as you can. Live a healthy life, have a strong body, okay, and continue this existence, this life, as long as humanly possible. That is the purpose. I've heard gurus say this, famous gurus. And so that's one aspect. But I personally think that this is all physical. Okay? In other words, what you're saying is the purpose of life is to survive. Well, that's the same as our dog has. Okay? Or any animal outside or a plant would have. Nothing wrong with it, but it's at a physical level. Survive what? Survive this life? Survive with this body? It has a certain appeal to it, I understand. It has a certain meaning to it, I understand that too. But let's understand the level. The level that we're talking at is at the physical level, right? The purpose of life, this life, is to survive as long as possible. It's at a physical level. This is me talking now. I'm trying to analyze this and think through this with you. And then there are others who add a different dimension to it. They say, no, that's all fine, but life is a journey. Life is a journey. Life is about discoveries. Life is about growing our mind, evolving our mind. So we have to learn as much as possible. We have to discover as much as possible. We have to talk to people. We have to talk to intelligent people and gather as much information as possible, reflect on it, and mature our mind. Okay? Take in the experiences. So life is a journey of the mind, if you will. So they say that is the purpose of life, is to evolve the mind. Okay? Through education, through learning, through experiences, and so on. Am I making any sense, Krishna? Okay. And here, though, in sharp contrast, the very first line of this book, the purpose of life is God realization. There you go. Okay? That is not at the physical level. Okay? Nobody is saying that you should survive as long as possible in this physical body. That's not what my father is saying there. Neither is he saying that it's about creating experiences and evolving the mind with worldly things. Okay? Again, I'm not saying these are all wrong, but are they the purpose of life? That's what we're talking about. These are three different levels. One is physical, the second is mental, and the third one is purely spiritual. And I think this last one is at the highest level. So let's take a look at that, okay? Just that one line alone. Just the one line. That is, the purpose of life is to realize God. Why is he saying something like that? It's because if you look at, I'm going to read some more things for you a little later in the same writing that he has, right in the first chapter itself. This goes right back to what the Bhagavad Gita also teaches. That is, if you consider the fact that we are Atma, okay? That is, we are the spirit or the soul. That the soul or Atma has come here from somewhere and taken birth in this body. In other words, the Atma has taken this body. If you consider that for a minute, okay, it means that the physical and the mental stuff is really more based on our condition here while we live. Right? So by making the body much stronger, living for a lot longer, I'm not saying there's no value in that. I'm going to come to the point of why that's valuable. But is that the very purpose of life? And the answer is no, because the body is constantly dying from its previous age, previous cells, previous everything, and moving on through time to get to a different body. I don't have the same body from 5 years ago. So why do we hang on to something that constantly changes, especially when it's not even us? It's a temporary situation where the spirit that has, according to Lord Sri Krishna, It has no name, no form. Just think about it. I'm going to give you a second, okay? While I enjoy a sip of water. I'll give you a second. Think about it. Our true form, our true nature, has no name or form. No form. Right? When you look at me, you think, okay, Shyam is sitting there talking something. But you're not looking at me. You're looking at some talking head with this body, okay, with a mind behind it, with some intellect behind it. But none of it is me. Okay? The me has taken this body so that I can do this. Okay, just think about it. My true nature is no form and no name. So if you think about it, we have taken on this body so that we can go through our karma. Right? Atma has taken this body so that we can work out our karma. Is that the purpose of our life? Some would argue, yeah, let's get through our karma. That's the purpose why we are born. Let's get through that. But that's not enough. The purpose of life is to actually realize how reality looks like, how God has set up the entire system, how God is in everything. So in order to realize that, okay, we take the body. We are given a body not just for the sake of working through karma, but it is the means. Okay, this is the set of tools that I have to meditate. This is the set of tools I have so that I can do some good things. This is the set of tools I have so that I can sing those mantras that will reconnect me to my true self, reconnect me to God. Without the body, I can't do any of that. Okay? Plus, I can't have pizza. Right? Without Krishna, without the five sensory things that we have, sense of smell, taste, touch, sight, etc. Without that, how can I enjoy pizza? I can't. Right? But is the purpose of life to enjoy pizza? Is that why I'm here? The answer is no. But if I'm here, I can have that. If I'm Atma with no form, that means I don't have a stomach or a tongue. Right? So in that case, the question is, do I care for pizza if I'm in that different state? Some Atmas will crave it due to vasanas, that is impressions, and other Atmas will be free from all of that. So my point here is that when we are born here, it's known as the pinnacle of existence. Why? Because it allows us to contemplate. We can have the full faculty of our mind, intellect, etc. And with the physical body, there are things that we can do that we cannot do as pure, nameless, formless Atma. Okay? It allows us to sing the glories of God, for example. Atma by itself may not be able to do that. It's too abstract. So, when it's written here that the purpose of life is to realize God, okay, we have this body that enables us to do certain things. Quieten the mind, go inwards, do the mantras, okay, and start to realize that we can sing the praises of God, that we can do meditation, we can go inward and look at these things so that we can actually realize not only our true nature, but how God is everything and is in everything. So later on in that book, my father goes on to define what's the difference between Parabrahma and Paramatma. Parabrahma is transcendental, okay? Transcendental, beyond everything. That is Parabrahma, okay? And ever growing, in other words, infinite. Whereas Paramatma is God's nature that's in everything, right? Ours is just Atma. Paramatma means somebody who's in every single thing. So God is creation in some ways. So, but the idea here is to realize God is to realize the true nature of things. And why do we need to do that? Because it reconnects us to reality, which then means that we don't have to worry and fear for everything. We lose our anxiety. If you really consider that we are Atma, okay? Just for the sake of argument. We know that we are Atma. The Atma takes the body. Body is temporary. It has a beginning, middle and an end. Okay? That's why we have this middle age and then end and all that. So we have this beginning and end. That's a short period of time. Where was I before this? Right? I was called Shyam after I was born. But before that, what was my name? What was my form? After this, what is my form going to be? What's my name? Right? So we can say that this whole thing is temporary. So it's kind of mind-blowing that somebody would say the entire purpose of life is simply to survive. It isn't. Okay? It has its value, but the purpose of life, that's a very low-level purpose if you're thinking that way. So the highest purpose of life is to reconnect and realize that our condition is that we are here temporarily, and we will be here again and again and again and again, going on and on until somebody puts a stop to it. That somebody is we, okay, with the help of a guru. So until that happens, we go on being born and born and born, accumulating more karma, accumulating even more karma. So the idea here is, I'll read you some more things here, okay, is to realize that we live temporarily in this world of duality, doing this and that, okay? So now, mind, let's see, okay, mind is the cause of both bondage and freedom. Mind attached to the body causes bondage and grief. Mind attuned to the truth frees our soul from the clutches of ego and delusion. Knowing this, let a man turn his mind inward to the light of truth and attain freedom. The natural tendency of the mind is to run outside with the help of the senses, to enjoy the objects of the senses. Along with happiness, which it enjoys, it suffers misery as well as and realizes that happiness and misery are the two sides of the same coin. With such experiences, the mind seeks the peace beyond this duality. Then it becomes receptive to the great teachings of the masters and the holy scriptures. When the mind is purified by being receptive to the holy wisdom and is saturated with devotion, it spontaneously turns inward towards the truth or God. Then it experiences a glimpse of truth. This divine experience inspires the mind to meditate on God more and more until it is illuminated by the intuitive light of truth. Then the soul attains freedom. Despite intellectually knowing what this is all about, man feels incapable of doing what is right and turning his mind towards God. What is the cause of this incapability or difficulty one feels in keeping the mind fixed in God? The answer is vasanas. Vasanas technically means impressions on the soul, okay, or past karma cause this weakness of the mind. To explain further, man has lived many lives in different bodies. He carries the impressions of his thoughts, that is vasanas, thoughts, words and deeds, along with him as he passes from one life to another. The sum total of these deep impressions or latencies are known as vasanas or past karma. These impressions are so powerful that they drive our mind and senses outward in the pursuit of pleasures of the world. So we have to go through a process of undoing these impressions through a rigorous spiritual discipline. Our mind often lacks the strength to carry on that discipline. We should be in the company of a saintly person or a guru so that he inspires us and strengthens our minds time and again to practice spiritual discipline. So I'll stop here. There's a lot that's being said here. So the point I think this is trying to make is the minute we are born, okay, at least this is how I interpret it. The minute we are born, okay, we meaning Atma. Atma takes on the body. As soon as that happens, for most people, they now identify with their name and the form. That is, my name is Shyam, my form is this way, right? Me. And so that selfishness and ego, that's what we identify with. I am hungry, I need to sleep, I need to do this, I need to do that, okay? And this is my thought, and so on and so forth. So that aided by the 5 sensory perceptions that we have, the ego, the mind and everything, and the entire world around us, puts us in this bind of Maya. And because of that, we soon forget who we really are, and we continue doing the normal things of life. That is, I want to get more education, I want to be more knowledgeable about this, okay? I am better than somebody else, I need to compete with this person for something, I need to have upgrade to my living style, I need to go get this for me, this is quality of life, this, that, that. This goes on and on. Ultimately, we forget what we are really here to do. What are we here to do? Why was Atma born in this way? And so you can see here that we forget that because of how the mind is attached to our body and ego, etc. But it's also, even though we know these things, by tomorrow morning, I guarantee you, virtually all of us, we will forget any of these things in terms of considering at the gut level. Oh yeah, this is correct, okay? We understand it. But it says here, no matter what we think intellectually, we continue to do the same thing. We continue to identify with the ego and our life, etc. That's because of these past karmas or vasanas that lead us to do what we do and not think higher things or even practice anything. So, in the new year, I would suggest for your consideration, right? We've all lived, at least most of us have lived and seen this great man, okay, all our life, at least a big part of at least my life, all my life, right? Most of my life. And my wife has been with him, so she saw. So he's teaching certain things here. And it because he says it so often, we just take it and run, it just, right? Some of it may stick, but we forget it and we don't do anything. So in this new year, let's try to make a resolution, a simple one, small amount of practice of any of these things, even if it is as simple as when you go for your walk or before you end your day, just reflect on the simple fact of what this is saying. The purpose of life is God realization. If we just remember that, okay, the purpose of life is God realization, and then I am not the body is temporary, and that I am actually the spirit or the soul that has taken the body. Just that thought alone is good enough, because eventually what happens is you'll find that competing with people, hoarding money, hoarding things, and worrying about this, that, so many things that we have anxieties about, right? A lot of things. We don't look at ourselves as having anxiety, right? People always ask me, Shyam, do you have any stress? I always say, I don't think so. But they think I do, so maybe I do. I don't know. I don't know what stress looks like. So my point is that stress, anxiety, this and that, they're all related. And the simple point is, if you remember that, how could Radha and I marry if neither she took a body, neither I did, that we remained in Atma, okay? And we will go back to Atma. Why am I so attached to her? She is attached to me. At some point, we are going to separate, right? One of us will die first and we go back to some other place. So, the simple remembrance of why we have all these attachments that we have created while being here. If we remember that we are Atma, those things will kind of fall off. They are not that important. Therefore, stress, therefore anxieties, therefore all these worries that we have, all these things will slowly start to fall off if you remember this thing every single day. Let's try to make a resolution, New Year's resolution, that as we exercise, as we diet, as we do good things for ourselves, also remember that we need to do all those physical things, okay, so that we can try to do the good things that will reconnect us to God. Does that make any sense? I hope it does, because in an Atma state, in a pure spirit state, where we have no form or name, we cannot do all kinds of things. It's only in the body that we can do certain things. Okay? So, that's why it's important. So let me read maybe one more thing and then we can take a look at people's comments, Krishna? Okay.
Also, could you try turning off your keyboard? That may be causing the static.
This one?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I'm going to go past this whole notion of karma, because I've already talked about that in so many streams before and today too. So here it says very clearly, right, on page 3, in this life we have taken this body as men or women, acting as parents to children or husbands to wives, and so on. There comes a time when we have to do off our roles of flesh, that is bodies, and perhaps enter into other bodies. This is known as reincarnation. There we are, enacting another drama in different relationships with people. When we realize the truth within us as the unchangeable reality, the life as a changing drama, then for the first time we realize the purpose of life. The purpose of life is to be one with the truth and to be the witness of this drama without getting involved with it, even while carrying on its activities. Did that solve or it didn't? I don't think so. Okay. So, I'm going to skip over some of these things because they go off into many different angles, and I just want to simplify the message here. So I like this little metaphor, if you will. Here it says, a drop separated from the ocean cried with agony. A drop separated from the ocean cried with agony. Oh, I have none. I am lonely. I will be dried in a minute by the scorching rays of the sun, says the drop, right? Then the ocean roared from behind. Oh, teeny tiny drop, I am behind you. You are my part. Come on, unite with me. Then you will become the ocean, not the tiny drop anymore. Isn't it right? Beautiful? Saying thus, the ocean sent a wave and pulled the drop back into it. Similarly, souls feeling separated from God suffer loneliness and fear that they will be dried by the scorching fire of agony. Then God within roars, I am behind you. You will not be lonely. Be united with me through meditation. Saying thus, the Lord sends his messengers to bring the souls back to him. Separation is death, unity is life. To know this is the purpose of life. Beautiful, right? So it goes on like this. I mean, this is just the first chapter, believe it or not. It's incredible. So maybe we'll read a few more things a little later, or maybe in the next live stream. But let me see about your comments, because I'm sure you have something to say about all this, right? Krishna, maybe it's this static. There are all kinds of devices here.
Sorry?
Maybe it's static from here, huh?
Could be. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of static. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, all right, so let's take a look. Janavi is here. Janavi, namaste. Namaste, Sham, Radha, Krishna, and Gayatri. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Janavi, thanks for joining us. Blessings for peace, prosperity, and health. Thank you for doing this live stream for us. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thanks for joining us. And Dayaram and Padma are here. Happy New Year to Sham, Radha, mother, and family. Now, as you know, thank you, Dayaram and Padma. Mother is with Geeta, as you probably saw earlier today. So she's having a great time with Geeta right now. She had a good time with us too, but not all the time. Sometimes good, sometimes not so good, when she starts worrying about India. So now Geeta has her, and so Geeta can help her through that. Now we have Mahalakshmi, Maria Mahalakshmi. Hello all. Mahalakshmi, thank you for joining us. Happy New Year. Giri is here. Giri, thanks for joining us always. Happy New Year to you and family. Namaste. Vidya Lakshmi Shanai is here. Namaste, Vidya Lakshmi. Happy New Year to all of you. Yep, same to you. Hope everybody is staying healthy in India. I read somewhere that the very first COVID vaccines are being administered in India. So that's good news. Karuna is here. So nice to be here with you all. Thank you, Karuna. I appreciate it. See, this is something that Karuna, this is one among many, I believe, right? This book here, Purpose of Life, that she typed, edited, and so on. This was done in Southfield, if I'm not mistaken. So tremendous service, and it will live on forever, way past our own lifetime. So thank you, Karuna. Thanks for joining us. And then Mirabai and Krishnadas are here. Happy New Year, Mother. Mother is also watching and listening. So I'm sure she's going to say Happy New Year to you. So from us, Happy New Year to you guys too. I see you said the same thing later. So thank you for joining us again. So Geeta is here wishing everyone Happy New Year. May this year bring health, peace, and happiness to everyone. Geeta, what about wealth? All right. So jumping past here, Geeta is blessed to have Mother here. She'll be conducting Bhajans on Thursday on Zoom meeting. Okay, so there you go. That's the announcement. So we're all together with Sridevi. Oh, that's beautiful. This is Mirabai and Krishnadas saying, Sridevi is there, Adam and Jacob. We love you all. Mirabai Krishnadas, Sridevi, Adam Ananda, and Jacob Krishna. Beautiful. We appreciate you and your divine family who uplift us all. Thank you very much. I appreciate that so much. And then Judy Hall, Jayanti is here. Namaste to all. Jayanti. Thank you, Jayanti, for joining us. Rekha Shanai is here. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that song. It is a good way to start. With Ganesha, we are always praying to Ganesha, the son of God, in our tradition, where Ganesha is prayed to for two things. Most people only know one thing, that is for success. But it is also for a sharp intellect. Okay, sharp intellect that gives you the success that you need. So thank you for joining us, Rekha. Appreciate it. And then Narayan Das, that is Nani and family. Namaste from Nani and family. Nani, thanks for joining us, and family, of course. I'm very happy that you guys are here with us today. And then your video has become a little blurry, Krishna. The video has become a little blurry. I don't know whether it's all right now. Okay, so it says, Leela is here. Happy New Year to Sham and Radha and family. Thank you, Leela. Appreciate it. Amma is with Geeta today. I dropped her off about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so she's over there, and we miss her here during the live streams. But she's there, and she'll be doing some Zoom meeting that Geeta is setting up, where everybody can see each other and sing bhajans and talk to each other face to face. And Jayanti says video is fine. Okay, at least where she is. And so there's some video stuff here. Okay, so Dinesh Bhatt is here, my brother-in-law. Happy New Year to all. Purpose of life according to Upanishads is dharma, artha, kama, and ultimately moksha. And so then he goes on to say dharma, acting morally and ethically, artha, pursuit of wealth through ethical means, kama, enjoyment through ethical means, ultimately liberation, moksha, from all the worldly things. And then finally, Krishnadas is saying screen is clear now. Okay, good. So those are the things. So let me know. Dinesh Bhatt is telling me that dharma, artha, kama, moksha according to Upanishads. And so what I wanted to do today was, those are correct, but I wanted to make something totally clear. That is, the question then becomes, if we are Atma, right? Some people misinterpret what I'm saying. And I said this in California one time, and somebody came up to me at the end of that and said, all this emphasis on the soul, some people may mistake it to mean that the life here doesn't mean anything. And that's just not the case. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, we have the other way. We are overemphasizing our attachments, overemphasizing little things that happen, events that happen in our life, and we are broken from it many times, right? Small little things here and there, we get upset, we are broken, or maybe in some people's case, the stock market went down and your stock didn't do well, so you're now very upset. Those things are all there. It's part of life, but don't give it too much emphasis, okay? Because at the back of your mind, you should always have this notion that I am Atma who has taken on this body, therefore I have this life. Well, when we have life, we should extend it as much as possible through good eating habits, good health, good mental health too. All that is necessary, but it's necessary so that you can make heaven out of life, not hell. Okay? So in other words, if you have the right context and you have a way that mentally you can enjoy, right? Understanding that you are Atma, but while you are here, you will have a properly balanced life, so that not only this life, the breath that we have extends as much as we can, but use it to the right kinds of things, to do the right kinds of things. Don't use it for awful things, because we now get into the concept of two things. One is, while we are here, do we accumulate more and more karma so that we guarantee that we are being born again and again and again for, who knows, millions of lives, okay, on the one hand, okay? The second point is, while we are here, we have the concept of good karma and bad karma. That is, dharma, okay, and karma. Okay, another way of putting it is, doing bad things leads to ultimately misery or dukkha, right? So this is papa, we call it papa, bad karma, papa. Papa means doing things that are not meritorious, not befitting of the soul, not doing good things. We are doing bad things. So that the sins, yeah. So if you're doing bad things, bad karma or papa, what you end up getting eventually is you have the consequence of that being also bad, leading us to misery and unhappiness or dukkha. Doing good things, good karma, good things to people, okay, deliberately, consciously doing good things for people, doing good things for the community, doing good things overall for creatures, animals, etc. When we're doing good things, that will slowly lead, that also has consequences. But these are good consequences known as sukha. So you have dukkha with bad karma, sukha with good karma. Okay? So while we are here, let's try to use this life to the maximum extent possible. Okay? All the time in the back of our head saying that, okay, we are Atma. We are here because of karma, and we are going to do good things as much as possible, so that we have sukha, not dukkha, on the one hand. On the other hand, what did I say? Let's not try to accumulate too many karmas in the first place. How do we do that? We do this whole thing. Om, 1 minute. Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmana va prakriti swabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami. So that mantra comes from, most people don't know where it comes from. If I asked you, where does that mantra come from? People will not know. It actually comes from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay? So that is, I offer everything that I am doing, my thoughts, my deeds, my nature, right? How I think about things, whatever it is that I have done, whatever it is that I have thought, whatever it is I have said, all of those things, due to whatever reason, I offer it at your feet, O Lord. When you actually feel that and you do it, then neither good nor bad karma sticks to the soul. Therefore, eventually, you won't have to be born again and again to repeat the same pattern. So that's the concept. Okay? So don't mistake that we are here in this body and everything is miserable and we have to get out of this. That's not the point I'm trying to make. We are here now. We can only do certain things if we have a body. If we are nameless and formless and free-floating spirit, there's not much we can do. So there's that dimension too for being born. So remember all those things. So I'll continue. If there are additional comments, Krishna, what do you think?
No more comments.
No more comments. Okay. If that's the case, we are approaching 10:45. So what I'll do is maybe I'll read one more small passage here, and then we can sing one bhajan and do the arti. My wife has asked me to keep it short so that people don't get tired of being here for so long. But when she says people, she means her. Here's a really good, beautiful thing on page 10. That is, know thyself, and that is the purpose of life. Here it says a beautiful metaphor again. Birds come from every direction and perch on a tree for a while. Birds come from every direction and perch on a tree for a while. Then they fly away without forming any attachment to that particular tree. Souls are like birds, coming from different lives according to their karma and perching for a while in other bodies with their so-called sisters, brothers, husbands, wives, friends and relatives. When their karma with them is over, they will fly away again, leaving them there. Knowing thus that everything departs to continue its onward journey, let a man never develop attachment to anyone or anything. Love everyone, but be not attached, and that is the purpose of life. Okay, so I will end it here, and we'll sing a short bhajan, and we have some ending mantras after the arati, and we'll do that. Oh yeah, that's a good point. My wife is reminding me that many of you are our Patreon members, right? So you donate on a regular basis the $20 subscription, and you're getting the benefit of these outstanding reel-to-reel recording satsangs from the 70s. And sometimes I see comments on Patreon saying that people are getting a lot out of those very powerful satsangs. And they're really, really amazing things. This was before I ever came to this country. So I'm also listening to them, and they're incredible, absolutely powerful. The way that it's presented is just fantastic. It's very inspiring, to say the least. But they're very packed with so many things that you have to really sit down and write down the points and see which of them you can actually consider properly and follow. So it's one of those things, okay? So what we've done is the whole project was started to convert books like this, right? Purpose of Life and other things. There are about 30 or 35 books, if I'm not mistaken, to convert those to digital format as an e-book. So we already we went through a little bit of struggle there to deal with Amazon and finding a proper book scanner who will look at the quality of things. And we finally got that done. Are you putting that up on screen, Krishna?
1 second. I'm getting it.
Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, I'll just put the link to the page in there.
Okay, so what that is we converted Liberation from Karma and Rebirth as our very first book. And for all the patrons we've had for a couple of months or whatever, we have all their names listed on a special thank you page, okay, within that. I don't know whether I can pull it up here, but let me see if I can do that on the Kindle app. So this is an iPad, but the Kindle app makes it all work. Krishna, I cannot do this here because I'm not signed in as a...
That's all right. I put a link to the product page for Liberation from Karma and Rebirth in the chat, so people can check it out.
Okay. So let me see if I can actually find it here. Okay. Okay, so there it is on the Kindle app. So you're able to see it. That's what the book looks like, and this is yet another incredibly powerful book. Okay, written in 1970. So it's a fantastic book. So thanks to all of you who have sponsored this. Your names have appeared within that book, in the ebook. It's up on sale on Amazon for $9.99, the proceeds of which go right to the temple, okay, Temple of Cosmic Religion. So there you go. I feel so excited about this this book right now. And so the next book is in fact going to be The Purpose of Life. Okay? So we're going to send that off to the scanners to get that done. So thank you very much to all of you. And those who may want to join, Krishna will let you know how. So going back to our program, I'll sing this song. I don't know whether I've kept the words there or not, but if you can follow along, that'd be good. If you cannot, that's okay. I'll just sing it myself. Jai Jai Ram Krishna. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. परमात्मा श्री हरि परम पुरुष परमात्मा श्री हरि पावन पूर्णावतारी पावन पूर्णावतारी जय जय राम कृष्ण हरि जय जय राम गोपाल लीलावतारी जय जय राम कृष्ण हरि जय जय राम दानव मर्दन केशव वामन दानव मर्दन दानव मर्दन केशव वामन दानव मर्दन दानव मर्दन केशव वामन दानव मर्दन यमुना तीर विहारी यमुना तीर विहारी जय जय राम कृष्ण हरि जय जय राम भजन योगनुत भक्तवत्सला भजन योगनुत भजन योगनुत भक्तवत्सला भजन योगनुत भक्तवत्सला भक्तवत्सला भजन योगनुत भवभय संकटहारी जय जय राम कृष्ण हरि जय जय राम कृष्ण हरि जय जय पांडुरंग हरि हरि जय जय पांडुरंग दास केशवनुत दाशरथे रामा दास केशवनुत दास केशवनुत दाशरथे रामा दाशरथे रामा gama sa ni da pa pa dha ma pa gama re sa das keshavanut dasharathe Rama das keshavanut Krishna premavatari Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari Jai Jai Panduranga Hari Hari Panduranga Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari Ram Krishna Hari Jai Jai Panduranga 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 Hari Panduranga Hari Vittala Vittala Panduranga Pandharinath Panduranga Vittala Vittala Panduranga Pandharinath Panduranga Pandharinath Maharaj ki jai Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai Sadguru Maharaj ki jai So, Krishna, unless there are additional comments, we will do the Aarti and wrap up.
There are some more comments.
There are, okay. Question is how to get there, right? Live chat, okay. So here, all right. So where are we? So Dinesh Bhatt is saying Kayana Vacha, that is called Krishnarpana Buddhi. And then Rajaram Bhandarkar is saying Happy New Year to you all. Thank you very much. Same to you. And thanks for Dinesh Bhavaji to give some context to some of these things. And so he has additional context. 3 urges of the soul in original state. Urge to exist, that is Sat. Urge to know, that is Chit. Urge to be happy, that is Ananda. So Dinesh says when this dynamics is disturbed, a person feels suffering and wants to get back to its original state. The process of getting to the original state is the purpose of life. So definitely that puts a different, not angle or a dimension, it puts a different explanation, I would say, to what's being discussed here. And so Kavita Kukulaya is here, Gayatri. I'm sorry, Gayatri, Radha. Kukilaya is here, and she's saying Happy New Year, Shyam, Avare, and family. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you all too, and your family. We wish you all the very best. So, with that, we will close now with the Aarti, and we have some closing mantras after that. Again, you can go to the description and take a look, and we'll do that. Okay? So, I'm not going to read any more comments in the interest of trying to keep this relatively short, which is hard for me, trust me, because it's a matter of discipline. Wait, so I prasad kari. Om. ಓಂ ಕಳ್ವದ ಓಂ ಪ್ರಾಣಾಯ ಸ್ವಾಹ ಪಾನಾಯ ಸ್ವಾಹ ಉದಾನಾಯ ಸ್ವಾಹ ಸಮಾನಾಯ ಸ್ವಾಹ ವ್ಯಾನಾಯ ಸ್ವಾಹ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣೇ ಸ್ವಾಹ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾರ್ಪಣಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಹವೀರ್ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಗ್ನೋ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣಾಹುತಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮೈವ ತೇನ ಗಂತವ್ಯಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಕರ್ಮ ಸಮಾಧಿನಾ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ ತತ್ಸದೋಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣಾರ್ಪಣಮಸ್ತು. ಆರತಿ ಇಲ್ಲವಾ? One minute. ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ಪರಂಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ಮನೆ ಮನೆಯೋಳು ಮನ ಮನದೋಳು ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ಪರಂಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ಹೃದಯ ತಟ್ಟೆ ಮನದ ಬತ್ತಿ ಪದುಮನಾಭನ ಪ್ರೇಮ ತೈಲ ಹೃದಯ ತಟ್ಟೆ ಮನದ ಬತ್ತಿ ಪದುಮನಾಭನ ಪ್ರೇಮ ತೈಲ ಮುದದಿ ಎರೆದು ದೇಹ ಮರೆದು ಹೃದಯ ಹೃದಯದೊಳಗು ಜ್ಞಾನ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ಪರಂಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ಅಹಂಕಾರ ನರಕಾಸುರ ಮಮಕಾರವೇ ಮೂರನೆಂಬ ಸುರ ಶಿಷ್ಟರ ಕರೆಗೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಬಂದು ಶಿಷ್ಟರ ಕರೆಗೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಬಂದು ದುಷ್ಟರ ತರಿದು ಮೆರೆಯ ಧರ್ಮ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ಪರಂಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ನಾನು ನೀನು ಎಂಬ ದ್ವೇಷ ನಾನು ನೀನು ಎಂಬ ದ್ವೇಷ ಮಾನ ಅಭಿಮಾನ ದೋಷ ಹೀನ ಬುದ್ಧಿಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನಾಶ ಹೀನ ಬುದ್ಧಿಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಗೋಳಿಸಿ ಜಗವ ಪೊರೆವ ನಾಮ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ಪರಂಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ಕಾಮ ಕ್ರೋಧ ಲೋಭ ಮೋಹ ಮತ್ಸರವು ಮದವು ಹೋಮಗೈದು ಸಕಲ ಜನ ಹೋಮಗೈದು ಸಕಲ ಜನ ಸ್ತೋಮ ಒಂದು ಗೈದ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ಪರಂಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ಆಶೆ ಸ್ವಾರ್ಥ ಸುಟ್ಟು ಕರುಣೆ ಆಶೆ ಸ್ವಾರ್ಥ ಸುಟ್ಟು ಕರುಣೆ ಕೇಶವ ಪದ ಸೇವೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ದಾಸ ಕೇಶವನು ತನು ಸತತ ದಾಸ ಕೇಶವನು ತನು ಸತತ ಭಾಷೆ ಇತ್ತು ಪೊರೆವ ದಾಸ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ಪರಂಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ಮನೆ ಮನೆಯೊಳು ಮನ ಮನದೊಳು ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ ಪರಂಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ. पंढरीनाथ महाराज की जय. So from wherever you are, receive the arti by waving your hand and touching your eyes and your head. So if you go back down to the description, we'll do the closing mantras. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhusya sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृति स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. ॐ असतोमा सद्गमय तमसोमा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय. ॐ शांति शांति शांतिः. लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु. हरिः ॐ. बोल सद्गुरु महाराज की जय. श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय. सियावर रामचंद्र की. पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय. सब साधु संतन की जय. So thank you for joining us in this new year. We wish you all the very best. 1 minute, let me just turn this off. For this new year, just remember that a little bit of practice, a little bit of reflection, a little bit of remembering about the purpose of life, the way that it is written here by our Guru and Father here, is just something that we can keep in mind, and a little bit of practice is important. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So that means that a little bit of practice, according to Lord Shri Krishna, helps us get out of great danger. Whatever that means, we'll discuss that next time perhaps. Okay, thanks again and namaste. We'll see you next time. If you have any questions, obviously send me some comments to this video, which will be posted in a couple of in a couple of hours, maybe 4 or 5 hours, I don't know. The next live stream we're doing is at the beginning of the next month, the first Saturday of next month. Okay, same time, same place, same everything, and that's held at 9:30 on which day? February 6th. So my wife says February 6th. Let me just double check. Yeah, so that's the first Saturday, February 6th at 9:30. Okay, 9:30 our time. That is in Washington D.C. time or New York time. In India it will be 7 in the morning, their local time on Sunday, not Saturday. Okay, all right. Thanks again. Namaste, and please think about what I've said and send me comments if you like.